Hey everyone, I'm Josh. I'm the owner and operator of Random Creations Co., a custom printing company, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Hey everyone, like I said, my name is Josh, and I own Random Creations Co., a custom printing company. We're a veteran-owned company based out of Western Washington. I started this business a little over a year ago, about a year and a month ago to be exact, and I started with nothing more than a standard inkjet printer and a Cricut cutter. I saw a video on YouTube and thought, yeah, I can make some stickers, right? Be an easy side hustle. Why not give it a try? Make an extra 20 bucks here or there. Little did I know that it would bring me to the point where I'm at today. So within that year, I ended up landing a really, really big client that's been very good to me, and it's allowed me to expand my business tremendously. I went from that to a rolling printer, which I still have, to the HP Latex 365 behind me. So now I can print everything from stickers, banners, posters. I do vinyl decals. Not the biggest fan of doing them, but I do them. And everything in between. I'm trying my best to expand into the custom car wrap industry. Hopefully within the next year I'll be doing that. So currently I'm set up in my garage. I just moved and I'm in the process of building a shop on my property. Once I have that, I'll be moving and hopefully be able to expand a little bit more and get into that custom wrap game. So the purpose of this channel really is to educate myself, because I'm sure plenty of you will have a lot to say about the way I do things, and might not be the right way, but right now it's working for me. Hopefully educate some of you that are just looking to get into the industry, and really I'm going to show the good, the bad, the ugly behind everything that I do. So you'll see me waste a lot of material. You'll see me be successful at times and everything in between. So without further ado, we'll kind of get into it. Today's a pretty easy day. I got a small order, about 100 stickers I have to do. Super easy. A poster, and a couple other smaller items. So we'll get into that and go from there. Thanks. Okay, everyone, we're over at my computer. So the software I'm using today is Adobe Illustrator. I use Adobe Illustrator, and I'll be using Cutting Master 5 today. Typically, I do use SAI Flexi, but I've been having an issue with my Flexi actually talking to my cutter. It'll send via USB, but I can't get the data link to work for some reason. It was working, and then it just stopped. So just my workaround for today is I'm just going to go from Adobe Illustrator straight into Cutting Master 5. So before we get started, this is one of the projects I have to do today, one of the orders. It's already set up, it's already printed, it's already laminated. So I'm not going to walk you through all of that today. I'll save that for another video. But what I will highlight is the fact that I do have the cutting lines, as you see here, around the image. I like to use a magenta cutting line. It just stands out to me. I personally prefer it. So I have that set and ready to go. And again, in a later video, I'll show you how to use that. So what I want to do before I send it, I like to get rid of the actual image. So I have the cut line and the image on two different layers in Adobe Illustrator. And again, we'll get into that in a later video. So since I already have a Cutting Master 5 plugin, I'm just going to go ahead and send this straight over to Cutting Master 5 right now. Okay, so once it's in here, you can see I have all the cut lines right here, no problem. Then at the top, I have a few things I need to do to make sure that it's ready to go. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and click on the option button. As you can see, it says all by color or by layer. So remember I was talking about using that magenta color. I like to go by color. Then you have your conditions. So conditions are something that's set in the graph tech. You can set it here as well, but that's something, again, I'll get into in the future. But basically, all that is the condition is what cut line pattern I'm going to use, and the force that's going to be used behind it, and the speed at which it's going to do so. So once this is all set, all I really have to do, I'm happy there. All I really have to do is send it to the cutter. But before I could do that, I need to make sure I actually load my media onto the cutter. So we'll get into that really quick. Okay, so like I said, I already have this printed and laminated. It's done in a matte laminate right here, so looks pretty good. I'll show you in a future video how I laminate, because I have two methods of laminating. I do have a wide format 64-inch wide laminator, and then I have a standard about 32-inch cold press laminator. And again, I'll make a video on that later and show you my process for both. So the cutter I'll be using today is my Graphtec FC 9160. This is an amazing cutter. I've been very, very satisfied with it. I'll do a video on this in the future as well, but today I'm just kind of going to the basics of walking you through how to load this and how we're going to get these stickers cut. So without further ado, we'll kind of get into it. So what you want to do is you want to take your image here, your media, and you want to load it with the image facing up. Now, one thing you'll notice is I have registration marks all around this. That's going to be very important here in just a few minutes, okay? So when you load it up, you're going to get it under the pinch rollers, okay? And going back to those registration marks, you need to make sure that the pinch rollers on the outside of the registration marks on both ends, okay? Additionally, while you're doing this, you want to make sure that your pinch rollers are aligned underneath this blue tape here, okay? If it's not aligned, then it's not going to work and you keep getting an error. So that's just a necessity you need to have. Again, we'll walk through this later on in a different video. So when I'm doing this, I like to make sure that this is as straight as possible. So the way I do that is there is a line here between the metal and like this plastic material here that I like to line the media up with before I clamp it down. Once I'm satisfied that it's good, I'll clamp down the left side, move over to the right side, line that up, and then I hit the other two, and now I know we're ready to rock. So next up I got to do is, since this isn't an entire roll of media, it's just a sheet. On the GraphTech, it gives you a few options, whether you're going to do a roll, front edge, or the entire roll, or a sheet. I'm just going to do a sheet because this is so small, right? It's a quick order. So we've got to hit number 3, and that's just simply going to calibrate to the size sheet that we have and get oriented. Once that's done, we'll go ahead and get into the cutting. Okay, so in order to cut first, we have to align the blade here to the registration marks. Okay, so the way we're going to do that is I'm simply going to use the guides right up here, and I'm going to move the media into place. So as you can see, the registration mark is right here now, right? Okay, once that's there, I'm going to slowly get the blade in position. Now, when it's in position, you'll know it because it has to be inside of that 90-degree turn right there, okay? That 90-degree angle. Once it's inside there, you're ready to go ahead and send this through the cutter. So now what you're going to see is the cutter is going through the registration marks, making sure that it knows exactly where it needs to cut. I like to use more registration marks because it just makes it that much more accurate. It does help compensate for printer skew, which we'll talk about in future videos. It might be overkill, but I personally enjoy it. So that's just what I like to do. So it's going to get these bottom ones here. All right, and now it's doing what is called a perf cut around the image. Okay, we're done cutting, so all we really have left to do is pop these out. So like I was talking about before, we did the perf cut. So the perf cut should allow us just to simply pop it out, and just like that, you have yourself a sticker. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these popped out, and I'll see you guys here in a few when we get to the shipping table. Okay, now that we got them all printed, popped out, and now they're ready to ship. So what I like to use is I'm using these bags right here, little cellophane bags, about 5" by 5". I use these for most of my stickers here. I do have a wrap if I need to, if they're larger or not, but this is what I like to use. So it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Just simply put these in the bag here. Right, and I'm not overly worried at first about those being the neatest. I just want to get that lined up. I'm going to go ahead and put them on this to cut the size and seal it. There we go. We're good to go. We'll trim some more of it off. Okay, once those are done, okay, and then I take the heat gun. Make sure those stay nice and straight as best as I can. Okay. And there we go. Those are nice, sealed, and ready to ship. All right, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and stop my first video there. It's been a learning experience just messing with camera angles, lighting, and all of that. I still got a few more things I got to knock out, like the posters and all that. Again, as I progress and get better at this, I will be recording everything, doing tutorials, the whole nine yards. So if any of this is beneficial, and or if you're just looking to support me in any way, shape, or form, if you could just give me a like and subscribe, that would be outstanding. I'm going to try my best to keep videos coming every single week. I do work full time on top of this, so sometimes the weekends are my time to really get stuff done, but I will do everything I can to get content out, to get everything done to the best of my ability, and get you some tutorials here in the near future. So, hey, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.